some worker harass, because usually you don't send military personnel to other expansions unless you're intent on keeping them. And that third starport goes down. Look at that. Woohoo! Terran are just taken to the skies, man. They are definitely wanting to get this battle over with. As we look, again, Ancient just throwing down those forges. He's not using any unit micro, so he's focusing completely on macro. He's focusing completely on... and look at that, the Terran miscalculated their drop zone, and one dropship never hits back to town. But he throws down those 3 vultures and 2 medics, maybe a misdrop on his part. But the Zealots are a little bit too late to come to the probe's aid. All those probes are dead, and he micros pretty efficiently until he hits this little snag here in the minerals. He definitely shouldn't have done that. The medics go down, and yet again, a very great worker harass. He only lost about, I don't know, 75 worth of minerals, and countless probes went down, so a very good move by the Terran, very good move by Szar. Again, we see that the Terran base is hardly defended at all, maybe a bad thing, but nothing happens to the Terran because Ancient just refuses to leave his base. But we see a battlecruiser start to go down, so that's pretty early tech. 19.5 minutes into the game, he's starting to build battlecruisers, so that's got to say something for the Terran. He's thrown down actually 2 battlecruisers, so we're going to see some pretty hard harassment by air units, because battlecruisers, even when they're not upgraded, can just cause a lot of hell, a lot of havoc. 2 forges are down, researching ground upgrades as well as shield upgrades. Common misconception: shield upgrades do not change the amount of damage the shields take. In fact, all they do is just increase the regeneration rate of shields for buildings and units. So, not saying it's bad, but it's definitely not what people think. 2 science vessels are popped out of those starports, so we're going to see some early detection. Szar seems a little bit afraid of detector units because he did throw those down pretty quickly. 3 battlecruisers are popped out, man. That's only 21 minutes into the game. That's an insane speed for battlecruisers by anybody's standard. I may be a new player, but you know what? I know some scary crap in the air when I see it. Those 2 dropships have got 4 vultures and 2 siege tanks, so we'll see what they do with those. They're heading down, and they're trying to do some worker harass again. But look at that, those cannons are just a little too fast, and the vultures were not microed well, so they did run into that cannon fire and die almost instantaneously. The second dropship gets those siege tanks out. One of them falls to the cannons. The other one is kind of just taking pot shots because he is out of range. And Zealots are finally to the rescue, but too late to save all those probes. Zealots take out that last tank, but it was an effective worker harass. If I were the Protoss now, I would have GG'd a long time ago from worker harassment. But again, Terran are very resilient in their efforts, and he moves all of his SCVs that weren't mining before onto his second expansion. And he's taken up another command center to possibly float over to another location. Because there's no reason he'd have two command centers side by side for no apparent reason. As we can see, those dropships are just kind of hanging out, not doing much. The armories aren't researching anything, but then again, you do need a lot of resources to keep going, and he doesn't have all that much Vespene gas, so his researches could be a little bit delayed. 2 more battlecruisers pop out, so now he's got a total of 6 battlecruisers, along with 2 science vessels to keep him company in case they run into anything that can be possibly pretty scary. 1 upgrades across the board, so doing very well as far as upgrades for air units, and those Marines and medics are keeping that expansion safe. Again, Ancient, why are you not using your Zealots? That is just a waste of resources. Although he is getting those High Templars out, but he's microing pretty horribly as far as a unit creation goes, because he does have scouts out. He's throwing down another Templar Archives, but you don't want to queue up your units in a constant stream like Ancient one is, because that does take away from your resources that you could be using elsewhere. The example I always use is if you have 50 minerals or 100 minerals and you put 250 mineral counts on a barracks, and you've got two Marines queued, you could have used that other 50 to put up another SCV and have another 50 laying around after the SCV collects to get another Marine up once it's done being created. So pretty bad miss micro on the Protoss's part. But the Protoss is doing well as far as defensive purposes are concerned. They're turtling very well, but cannon whoring can have its drawbacks. All you got to do is take out the pylons, and the whole idea of defensive perimeters is lost. Again, the Terran are just they have total map control. They're going around placing mines, being a total pain in the rear, and just really not giving any space to Ancient, as we can see. Again, those battlecruisers are just kind of sitting there. I guess he's going to use them a little bit later on. 2 more get created, so now he has a total of around 8. I'm guessing, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 8 battlecruisers. So he's going to send them over along with those vultures and tanks. So it's going to be a pretty hard harass, especially this early in the game, because the vultures do have mines. They will be a little bit obnoxious with mines. And here he goes. He's kind of moving them around. Not much we can tell from what he's doing, but he is laying down mines now. Pretty good micro for the mines, pretty good control. He throws them down in that area. I don't really know why, but he does get pretty intent on putting them there, and then he continues to make this or buffer this wall out, he's expecting some retaliation like he has seen with his other tanks, and he is just containing the heck out of Ancient. As we can see in the minimap, Ancient does respond. Terran has the upper middle left expansion, and we can hear battle fire in the background. Those scouts just took out that entire battalion of tanks, putting Szar at a drawback. Scouts go back. Instead of keeping on and harassing, he's so content with base defense and turtling. That is just a horrible strategy for any race, just sitting down and waiting for your opponents to attack you. The best defense is an offense in StarCraft, especially because units do disappear pretty quickly. Even after they're made, they can die pretty easy if you have them in the wrong spot. We have some Valkyries in response to those early scouts. He did see those scouts and what they did, so he did create Valkyries as a response. A pretty good move on his part. He could have gone with Goliaths as well, but Goliaths are pretty hard to maintain, so he comsats that area and just saturates it with tank fire, as well as that upper cliff, so we might see a retaliation from Ancient One. Nothing yet, but as you can see, those huge